everybody, welcome back live at Drew's house, Joppa Afternoon Drive. Hope you're all doing well out there. Our guest today, we got a music show. You know how much I always like these here in Newburyport? It's a return guest, our good friend Old Tom, back on the show.
You're born inside a hurricane, teeth of his diamonds. Where the hell have you been hiding? It's probably better where you were. Now you're down here with the rest of us, chasing everything that shines me. With the devil just behind you, you can't shake him if you try. I know it's not the way it was. I know it's not the way it was. You were stepping out your car when I felt the world define me. Then we cursed that bastard Gary, and we laughed the whole night long. Then we felt the worldly shift in the moment we collided. Then we kissed to burning stacks while the stave sang harmony. I know it's not the way it was. I know it's not the way it was. All the dogs sleep in the bed, you still mumble in your sleep. Your hand beneath my head, open wide and showing teeth. Now you're singing in the kitchen, cast a spell upon my ears. Goddamn, you look so pretty. You've been practicing for years. You know you're something of a champion, tougher than the rest. Though I feel the gentle calling with your hand upon my chest. I know it's not the way it was. I know it's not the way it was. All the dogs sleep in the bed, you still mumble in your sleep. Your hand beneath my head, open wide and showing teeth. I love you as big as the sky. I love you. I love you as big as the sky.
Old Tom in the house. Welcome back, my man. How you doing?
Good, man. It's
Good
good to be back.
Good to see you again, man. Good. We got new music in the house today too, which I like.
Yeah, it's like
Also-
all new.
All new. Very good. Yeah, you called me. You were very excited the last time we talked on the phone about all this. So
Yeah,
very
yeah.
good. When did you write these songs? They all pretty fresh out there, or
They're-
years in the works? What's the deal?
This new record we've been working on for about 6 months now, and
Yep.
those songs are just a little older than that.
Okay.
So yeah, I wrote a lot of these songs last August.
Okay.
Got super depressed.
It's an uplifting album, is it? No?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's great.
All right.
Real feel good stuff. No, it's honestly, it's all hopeful.
Yep.
It's unique. I've learned to write love songs in the last couple years, and that one that I just played was a love song about my partner. And,
Yeah.
so I've been writing a couple of those here and there, and they're sprinkled throughout the album and some of the shows we've been playing. So it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's cool.
It's funny. Some of my favorite artists, you eventually, I've heard that line before. Of I learned to write love songs at some point. Like it is kind of I don't know. It's a different kind of craft or something.
It is. Well, it's like so. I think everybody goes through a phase of writing love songs, whether it's early in life or it's later in life.
Yeah.
I think for the sake of the song, it's better that it's later in life.
Yes.
Because typically that renders out a better product.
Yes.
But,
You've experienced more stuff.
Yeah, just like, you know what love is and stuff
Yeah.
like that. You're not just like some 17-year-old who's like,
Right.
spend my life with you. Like, that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I think it renders out a more honest product. I'm not a spring chicken or anything like that. I'm 35, so.
Yeah, 30. Well, I'm older than you, so there we are.
Lived a little bit. But yeah, man. So they're all
Cool.
like, most of the songs on the record are hopeful. I'll
Nice.
say that. Some of them are really sad.
Yeah.
But you need that for hope.
You do, and you need that for good records sometimes. Some of my favorite records.
I know. Yeah. For real.
Whenever somebody comes in here and asks, I've had artists rap, what do you want, Drew? You want to go dark or happy? I usually go, let's go dark. I don't know
Well,
why.
it's just like, I don't know. It opens up a whole new realm of honesty.
Yeah.
About I don't know. I think you learn more about the songwriter.
Yeah.
From happy or from sad stuff. Like, I don't know. I love the the music that you can just like open your windows and ride
Yeah.
and
That's fun.
feel good about your day and be like,
Yep.
it's sunny out. I'm listening to a happy song that makes me feel good. And there's a ton of artists in Boston who can do that.
Sure.
But I think if and when they come around to writing sad songs, just like learning how to write love songs later, it renders out these really honest projects that are just like, oh, now
Yeah.
I know why I love this artist.
Yes.
And it's, I don't know, I think it's a different lens into the way that we create things, and that's always fun for people.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Listening again, Old Tom in the house today here live at Drew's House Joppa Afternoon Drive. Thank you all for joining us. Now you travel as Old Tom as a solo artist, but you also
Yeah.
have a lot of projects. I know we have mutual friends that you play with sometimes. And who's on the record this time? Is it a
So
combination of?
it's unique. So this record is the first time I've used a producer.
Oh.
And not just like done everything myself.
Yeah.
So my last record was completely self-produced, along with some help from friends like Jesse DeSilva or Jacob McCurdy or
Yeah.
Steve Dennis, like some folks like that. They pitch in. They're always
Yep.
really helpful. Cecilia Vicanti was a big part of that project. It was really cool, but for this one, I really wanted to kind of take my hands off the wheel. And because of that, we've actually been really hiring out to a lot of folks who are new to me, who just play great music. It's
Producer
just like
call. So let's bring in this person.
Producer calls, and like if I meet somebody at a show
Yeah.
that really inspires me, I'll chat with them. We've had a couple collaborations on the record. And,
Gotcha.
It's been a lot of fun. It's
Cool.
been a lot of fun.
Is that hard for you in some ways to say? Because you like you said, you're used to producing all your own records in the past. Is it? You're doing okay with it?
It's kind of hard to take yourself out of the
Yeah.
the picture there and not micromanage. I'm trying really hard not to micromanage.
Right.
And it's tricky.
Yeah.
I'm not a micromanager by nature, but I know that I have the capacity to
Yeah.
do that when dealing with something that.
Oh, and these songs are like your babies too. You know,
Yeah,
it's like
exactly.
well, these are my songs. I'll do what I want with them.
Well, but
Yeah.
they're my songs until we release them, and then they're everybody's.
That's it. I hear so many artists say that. I guess there is truth to that. I don't know. I always feel like in the end, you're the guy that wrote the lyrics. But I guess you're right. Once they
Well,
become the
it's-
world's when you put it out there. I get that. Yeah.
It's not like it's not the only like. For a while, those songs make me feel good.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
and then I can give that to somebody else, and that's really gratifying when that works out
Gotcha.
that way. And it's like it's a gift, you know. I'm
Yeah.
not getting paid for it at all. This job.
Yeah. So that point when you release them, you're like, okay, it's ready. I'm ready to let go almost. Yeah.
Yeah,
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 okay.
it's tough. That part is really it is like you're just letting it go. You're just
Yeah.
like, okay, now I'll get to hear what everybody thinks about it.
Yeah,
whether
yeah.
I want to or not.
Yeah, that's the other thing. You open yourself up to people can talk about it now.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's always interesting.
Do you put? Are you one of those people? I have heard artists. They're like, when I release, I don't care what people think about it. I release it when it's ready to be released. I'm happy with it. I let it go and it's done. And then there's other people that are like, oh no, I very much like to know what everybody thinks. I read everything.
I read all
Dude.
and comments.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's hard for me not to.
Yeah.
Just because I thrive on constructive criticism.
Sure.
Sadly, most reviews don't have any of that anymore.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you know, most like if they like your music, they'll say something really fluffy about you.
Sure.
And they'll be like, "This is the greatest album this year. It's amazing."
Wow, that was really nice.
And it's like, that's just the opinion of one magazine, and it means very little because they wrote that opinion about how many other albums
Sure.
this year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, if they don't like it, they just don't review it. So it's like, there's no such thing as it, like, nobody gets canned anymore. You just don't get reviews,
Huh.
which is crazy because I guess the negative reviews that come back are actually from people who are telling you why they don't want to review your product. And it's like, oh God.
Man, that's fascinating. Yeah. I
Yeah,
hadn't even
the
thought
music
about that.
industry is a strange place. It's a strange place. It's a lot like a poorly run t-ball game.
Even like for the
Everybody
big
gets
artists,
to be a winner. you
everybody gets to be a winner. Yeah. Even like the big artists, I mean, I feel like a lot of the newspaper world's in a different place now, and it's like that's where you used to find a lot of those kind of long, write-ups of musicians and all that. And I don't think there's really a place for the music writer anymore. How many people are going out there covering shows all the time? I mean,
I don't know. I can tell you that just from advertising our show on Friday, that it has been really challenging to get any media coverage or any media recognition in the Boston area. It's Boston in and of itself is a really interesting scene. To live here and have my music be more successful in places like Denver or Nashville or New York City is really wild.
That is weird, isn't it?
Because then it teaches you, you're like, well, somebody likes my music.
Yeah.
Just not here. And that's weird.
Rocky Mountain's huge there.
Oh my God. Like the amount of times I've submitted to Vanyaland.
Yeah.
Like, oh my goodness. They don't even talk. Or like WERS, they're not even interested.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's like, you have WERS is great for a lot of reasons.
Which is the college station, Emerson College. Yeah.
They do a really good job getting college bands really good like station time, which I think is awesome. But they don't really dig very much into the Boston scene as like for like full timers or anything like that. People who are touring or.
Well, luckily we do, old Tom.
But you guys do.
Welcome back here anytime. Before we play a little more, because I know I want to get all your new music out there. What any dates you want to throw out there?
We're playing a show on Friday.
Cool.
At Rockwood Music Hall with Sean Barna and So Blue.
Nice.
And I can't wait for that show. It's going to be a lot of fun. We've got a really good band.
Cool.
Yeah.
You got what about like Instagram and all that? You're very good on Instagram. Why don't you tell people where to find you there? Cause
you guys can.
Sometimes I wait till the end of the show when I do this, and I'm like, what if somebody got busy and never got to this point, never got to follow you?
You can always find me at Old Tom Music. So that's old like the age, Tom like the name, and music like the art.
Very simple.
Very simple. Yeah. I don't know. You'd be surprised. Like I do a lot of shows down south, and everybody's like old time.
Oh, old time, yeah. Old time music.
Old time music. That makes sense.
It's not old time. It's old Tom.
Honestly, yeah.
All right.
Just the accent.
Well, let's get some more of that new music. You want to intro this song or just play it? Whatever you want to do. I don't care.
Yeah. So I wrote this song.
Feels like Storytellers, doesn't it? Remember VH1 Storytellers?
Oh my God, yeah.
I used to love that show.
VH1 is all lost art.
Is it still around? Now I feel bad that I'm asking that.
TV.
Is it? It's all reality.
It's all bad reality.
Yeah. I just got depressed.
Well, you come to the right place.
See previous conversation about the tone of the album.
Yeah. This next one's brand new. I wrote it all about how, like, anxiety can really get to you in a lot of funny ways. And it's so funny how anxiety is just, in so many ways, it's cumulative. You know?
Yeah.
We think of it as, like, these isolated incidents of just, like, you know, I'm anxious. This brief episode of things led up to this panic attack.
Sure.
You know, when I think a lot of the time it's like deep trauma, way back. And so I wrote this song kind of addressing that, and how sometimes people have a very hard time understanding that anxiety is different to every person, and that, like everything, it's a spectrum, and, you know, the severities vary from day to day, and, you know, that sometimes you feel like crap and you can't do anything, and the doctors don't know why, and your partner doesn't know why, and you don't know why. Everything is just kind of crummy.
There you go.
I'm doing my best not to say swear words.
Thank you. We appreciate that very much.
So hard.
Old Tom, live at Drew's house, Joppa Afternoon Drive.
Honest mistakes and little nightmares, hanging on to leave you threadbare, like a cat that digs its claws in and slowly pulls away. Hell, I know it's fabricated, like the walls we built for dating. I'm shaking like I'm shell-shocked, shrieking out, it's do or die. But I'm working out, all the doctor tells me I'm doing just fine. Tell me why I'm lying, and on the weekdays I've been crying out in some new ways. I've been lying about how this job pays. I miss hanging out in your days. Belly aches from medication, though it starts to keep me patient. I was rugged like a borderline between the past and me. Feels like every moment's weighted. Thoughts of joy feel confiscated. I'm restless like a rattlesnake beneath the rake of some old fool. But I'm working out, all the doctor tells me I'm doing just fine. Tell me why I'm lying, and on the weekdays I've been crying out in some new ways. I've
Old
ran
Tom,
away.
live at Drew's house, Joppa Afternoon Drive. Hope you're all doing well out there. Enjoying some new songs here from Old Tom. He tours all around the Boston area, really. Go find him on Instagram, Old Tom Music. And playing, you got summer plans a lot for the summer here already? You already booked up pretty good? Or
Yeah, pretty booked.
Yeah.
Playing down south with Jesse DeSilva.
Oh, nice.
A bit.
You know, I've never had Jesse on the show. Many people have told me I should. I think we're like friends on the old Instagram
Gotta
and all
get
that.
her
Yeah.
on here.
Yeah.
She's great. She plays a lot of good songs. I don't know if I'll be able to fit in here with them
Yeah.
and her keyboard, but hey,
We could. You'd be surprised what we can do in here. I've done
I
a
know
whole.
we did. We fit like me, Jake, and Steve in here
Yep.
one time.
That's easy. The trio. Well, I've done a 5-piece band in here. I did a little league team in here. You know,
Really?
13 guys, 3 coaches. Little leaguers. They take up less space, but you know,
Wow.
it's true. Oh yeah, 13 of them. It
That's
was fun.
overwhelming. That is too many people for this room for me.
It was tough to navigate a little bit. But they, the kids did well. Kids are resilient. They listened.
That's good.
Don't talk over me. You do this. You do this. It's all good. They were great.
You have good patience.
It was many years ago. We haven't done that in a while. I think it was Amesbury, if I remember correctly. They were having some run towards Williamsport or something. But
Nice.
Yeah. Good kids. Hope you're all doing well. You're all probably adults now.
I was gonna say we're all in
It
college.
was many years ago. I know. God, that happens to me too. Like, because I had a show in the city before this, like a different kind of version of this show, and like some of those, I talked to with a lot more high school students back in the day. I still do, but it was a lot of very much aimed at high schoolers, and like some of those kids now I see, they'll friend you on Facebook or whatever, and you'll look and I'm like, oh my God, that's a college graduation. Like, when did that happen?
Yeah.
I remember you. I thought that was like a year ago. No, that was 8 years ago. Okay.
Yeah. That's I used to lifeguard and teach swimming lessons.
Yeah.
And I started to feel really old when kids who I taught how to swim would friend me on Facebook.
Yeah.
And I'm in like my early 20s and they're like 16. You're like, I'm just going to deny them.
Yeah.
We're never going to be. I thought you had. We gave you instructions on how not to die.
Yes.
That's the limit of our relationship.
My job's done at that
We're
point.
not going to be friends. Yeah.
Oh man, that's too funny.
Oh my God. Yeah.
But anyway, back to the song. So this album, are you going to do like I imagine it's probably, you have this, and obviously I mean this is a great compliment. You have this like unique style where everybody hears you and it's you, which is like a great thing for an artist, which is what I always like
Never
about
heard
you.
that before.
I think so. I mean, I hear like, everybody has their influences, but it's a very, like, you have this very uniquely you style, and I wonder, like, when you have when somebody like hires you for, like, do you try to do all original gigs now because you have so many original songs? Is that your goal, or I imagine that
is the goal.
Yeah, it's hard to do though,
I
right?
still end up like, I'm going from here. I'm going to go play Narragansett Brewery like directly from here.
Yeah.
So I
Okay.
still have to
So a place like that, they expect you to play to the crowd, take requests, all that stuff.
I have like a decent group of people down there.
Yeah.
So I do get away with playing some originals, which is nice.
Yes.
But for most shows like that, like GB stuff, I
Yeah.
really tend to stick to just covers, and I still have to play like 3 of those a week.
Yeah.
So they help pay the mortgage.
That's sure, certainly.
Yeah.
Everybody, everybody's been through that. But it's funny. It's like probably that's what I was just thinking back to your topic about Boston not exactly reaching out and diving into a lot of these artists. Like, it'd be great to just have, I don't know. There's so much talent out there. It's like these more listening rooms, I guess is what I'm saying, right? Like,
You know what though? I think Boston has the opportunity for a lot of really good listening rooms. Like Club Passing, they're starting to do a lot better.
Yeah.
Like
they were always good, and then they kind of,
they were good, but then for a while they were like only booking like Chris Smithers and Mark Arelli.
Yeah.
And that, like, there are only so many times.
You have such a good feel. It's funny for all the.
Well, they're amazing artists.
Yeah.
Like Chris Smithers
certainly. Yeah.
is a great songwriter. Mark
Yeah.
Arelli is an amazing musician. They deserve to play as many shows as this place gives them.
2 good guys too, by the way.
They're great. And I love that they play those shows, but I think there's a lot more young blood in Boston that's not getting a chance right now.
Yeah.
Particularly like people of color and like female fronted bands.
Well, it's such a
and stuff
big
like that.
stage, like Club Passim. I mean, not physically big; it's small, but it's like when you go to Club Passim, like, okay, this person's on the stage for a reason.
Yeah,
that's at least what I think when I go there. It still has that kind of.
It's got an energy to it.
Yeah,
it's got a good energy to it, and it's like they're doing a much better job than they were doing, and like Rockwood's trying to make it.
Yeah.
I've heard they've had a hard time paying their artists, but
jeez.
like I think they're trying to make a listening room. You know, I know Atwood's was always a good spot. Atwood's is no more.
No more, yeah.
Like I know
It's been a few of those shutdowns.
I think Atwood's just got bought by the guys who own Bow Market, and now they're doing like pop-up shows there.
Gotcha.
But they're still trying to like keep the scene alive there, which is cool.
And that's just big Boston. Like I would like to see like Portsmouth does. Portsmouth, New Hampshire is a good little vibe for that stuff.
I love playing Press Room.
Press Room's a good one.
I
Yeah.
think that's a really great space. And people come there to listen to music.
And music hall's got the lounge now. That's like a very. It seems to me to be a very deliberate way of saying, okay, this is a big place, too big for some people. Let's try to give them another opportunity.
Well,
I like
it's
that.
like Steve Dennis just played there with Ryan Montpellier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Great example. Actually, I think it was the last time I saw Ryan Montpellier was at Passim.
Oh,
and
cool.
And like he was saying, it was kind of a funny story. He was talking about how he had dropped Fast Car. You know how he had that famous cover of Fast Car, Tracy Chapman's Fast Car.
Yeah.
And it really is. I mean, it's a huge cover. Not quite the Luke Combs cover, which is it Luke Combs? Yeah, Luke Combs, right? And
He didn't change it. He doesn't do anything
I know.
different. He's
Trust
just
me,
this
I know.
cheesy white dude singing this,
I know.
like, classic
Which is
song
not
and getting famous.
Which is not Ryan's version. Ryan's version is cool. It's like
clever.
Yeah, it's very clever. Tall Heights, right? I think, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I think so. But anyway, yeah. So I see Ryan, and he had mentioned to me before that he kind of dropped playing Fast Car because just Luke Combs has the thing with it, and it's just it feels like it's kind of his moment with the song. I don't know.
Well,
he said subconsciously it was like he didn't mean to.
Bummer.
I know.
It's such a bummer because Luke Combs' version is so
generic.
It's like everything that genre of music does is store brand.
Sure.
Like literally, it's just like. That's fucking, excuse me.
There it is.
Sugar on Wonder Bread. Like, it's just like.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah, that style of music is, there's a place for it, but like, if you want creativity, dig in.
Yeah. Well, he played it in that room though, is why they passed him. Because I thought it was cool because Tracy Chapman, that was one of her early rooms in Cambridge.
For real,
so,
yeah. Well, she was a monster in the Cambridge scene.
And not that Passim launched her. She was huge on the streets too. I mean, she was busking and doing it all,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. There's just so many great music stories around here. I don't like to see things like drying up with so many great artists floating under the radar. Not drying up, but I would like to see too many communities have like this kind of like a stale scene. It's like you could do so much more.
I think there's a lot of gatekeeping in the music industry.
Gatekeeping, yeah.
Yeah, and we see a lot of that in Boston.
Yeah.
Like, I've been fortunate enough to play a lot of really special rooms with a lot of really special musicians.
Yeah.
And I think that our music has gotten us into those rooms before our fan bases have. And I think that that's a really privileged place to come from because somebody took a chance on you.
Yes.
And I think there are a lot of artists out there that nobody's taking a chance on.
Yeah.
And that kind of breaks my heart because they're like every single one of the guys and women and people you see playing in the GB scene, they all have original products.
Yes.
And those original projects are probably writing hits that you never heard.
Yep.
And they're probably all great. Like I just played a showcase with Ever Finer and this young Berkeley band. I can't remember the name of them.
Mm-hmm.
But again, it was just like I heard about Ever Finer. I knew they were great. I knew Julia Diorio's a great singer, and like I heard they picked up Chris Walton, who's a friend of mine. I love everything about that. They put out good music, but again, they're playing like this showcase. They should be playing like a bigger stage.
Trust me, on this show, I know that. I can't tell you how many people I'm like, should be a star. What are we doing?
Well, it's a lot of. I think the music industry is just saturated. I think there are just so many great musicians in the United States. It's impossible to pick.
Well, maybe there's some truth to that, but that part's a good problem to have. But there's a place for everybody, right?
I hope so.
On that fun note, why don't we get another one?
Okay.
We have great little intro lead-ups to these songs, don't we?
Yeah. Must get really sad.
Should we tell a joke? No. I don't have any.
I'm not a good joke.
I'm not either. I got
I'm
none.
really bad. So I can tell stories pretty well, and usually those stories are funny.
Yeah.
And so because of that, people assume that I can tell jokes.
Yeah.
I honestly, I'm not good at speaking.
I'm not. I don't have jokes in my back pocket. I can react to things probably similar to, but yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's like circumstantial humor versus like set piece. It's like I'm not there.
Yeah. There's a place for everybody. There's a place for that joke teller on the golf course. Let me tell you a joke here as we start the 8th hole.
Huge in the divorcee scene. I love me.
The divorcee scene.
The divorcee.
Oh, that's very funny.
Yeah, I'll play another one. So I think a lot of people thought this song was called Death.
Oh.
For a really long time. I've been playing this song out for about 7 months now, and it's actually called Deaf, which is ironic.
Okay.
Because they've all been mishearing it.
It's called Debt.
Deaf.
Deaf. Oh, deaf. Okay.
Like I can't hear.
Okay. It's funny that people struggle with that so much, including me.
Which I think is hilarious.
There's something to that.
The irony of the song is not a funny song.
No.
But it has become funny to me that it is so misunderstood.
That is fascinating.
It's great. It's great. It's just one word, a couple letters difference.
Unbelievable. Old Tom, live at Drew's house.
So deaf and my singing out of key. I can act completely natural like you're standing next to me. It's just a heavy mist or a massive smoke machine. Just a natural flair for drama with a touch of grenadine. Can we pretend that we're still happy, like it's the normal you and me? And I'll take my medication, you settle into read. And I know this love's a labor, we've been working at so hard. My anxious bones to love you from the start. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All this house is full of ghosts. Please protect me when I sleep. What was a house is now a home, and we're boarding up the keep. Can you hold me still for now? I'm restless as can be. There was a piece of you and I, now war, you and me. Can we pretend that we're still happy, like it's normal you and me? And I'll take my medication, settle
Old Tom live at Drew's house, Joppa Afternoon Drive. Hope you're all doing well out there. Old Tom in the house playing some of his new songs here off his new record. Did you mention the name of the record yet?
Northeastern.
Northeastern. All right.
It's all about being Northeastern, sad and
Yeah.
that.
Seasons. Spring. You like spring?
We got a spring this year.
We got a little bit of a spring here. We happen to be talking to you on a beautiful day here in Newburyport. I think we're hitting 60. Is it 60?
It's like 70 out.
It's 70?
Yeah.
Wow. No wonder why. You know why I was feeling hot was I was like going to lose the sweatshirt when I was
It's a
walking
little
in.
sweaty in here.
It does get hot in here in the summer. Maeve's gonna like bring the air conditioner in. Oh man, but Old Tom, it's good to have you in the house today. I also better look at the clock. These shows, I feel like when the weather gets warmer, for some reason these shows fly by. I don't know why. Maybe to just move quicker. I don't know. Life just gets faster. I don't know on me. I don't know. Something's going on. Maeve Power, thank you for directing the show again. She's just great. Maya Gassman in the house. Ryan Rothberg, the boss, Sarah Hayden, our small but mighty team here in Newburyport. Thank you guys all for your help and making my life so easy. Yeah. So what are you listening to these days?
Oh God. I've been listening to a lot of Lizzie No.
Oh, okay.
She's great. I just did a couple shows with her with Jesse De Silva, and I knew her most recent album was good. I heard it when it came out, and I was like, "This is great."
Yeah.
And then I just lost it in the shuffle of having to learn music for loads of shows and stuff like that. You just get disconnected from stuff. But I had a lot of time on the road recently, and I really wore that one out. And I've been listening to them a lot. And I've been listening to Steven Wilson Jr.
Okay.
And he's awesome. He's just such a good songwriter. And he just came out with It's Absurd, but the record is like 18 tracks or something. 18 tracks.
It's a big record.
And it's great. There's no filler on it. Like every song on the record is terrific.
I'll have to explain to the kids what a double-sided is.
Well, this is a single-sided record, but it's it's a great record.
What's the most requested? Like you said, you got a gig tonight. You're heading off to, right?
Yeah.
So what is the most requested song in 2024, spring of 2024? What do people come to you? Is it a song or is it an artist? What are people like begging to hear when you go out and play?
For like cover shows?
Yeah, like because you mentioned that you try to do as many originals, but like tonight, I imagine it's a show where you're probably gonna have to.
So I play a lot of Counting Crows covers.
Really?
As you may have guessed.
Yeah, I know. That doesn't surprise me. But is that requested a lot?
So once people find out that I play like Counting Crows covers, and that like the style and my delivery is like similar and reminiscent of the Counting Crows of the Counting Crows sound. People love requesting Counting Crows covers.
That does make sense. They are. I've always loved the Counting Crows. I think they're an underrated
I love
band.
Counting Crows too. I think they're one of the most influential Americana bands since like 1994.
I mean, the last show I saw before COVID was Counting Crows.
That's awesome.
And it was hilarious to me because I think it was the last show before COVID, one of them. And it was so funny to me because they were it wasn't an opening act, but they were on before Matchbox 20.
That's actually a surprisingly common bill. So they used to tour with Matchbox 20 like all the time in the 90s.
Oh, is that right? It's funny. I didn't remember that.
So right now, like you can see it, like the bands that were like tour buddies back in the day, because now they get put on all the same playlists.
Gotcha. Okay.
Like 90s playlists and stuff like that.
That makes sense. So but those two bands are very different in style. So it's like
for sure. Yeah.
Counting even if they have the same amount of, give them both 90 minutes, you'll get 9 Counting Crows songs, and Matchbox 20 is more like Machine Gun Fire. It's like 25 songs.
Yeah,
boom, 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 boom. So, and it's like, I went there for Counting Crows. I'm Matchbox 20, and Rob Thomas is fine. Like, I had those memories too, but I'm a Counting Crows actual big fan. So we get there, and there's a lot of those people around, and you should have seen the attitudes in that place. It was in Mansfield, I remember, and like the people, can you believe the Counting Crows are on first? And I'm like, well, it's a split bill. It's okay.
Yeah.
The disrespect. And I'm like, I don't know. You get to leave early and miss the traffic.
Honestly, like when you get far enough into like the music industry playing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
if there's still an ego about who plays first and second, the person's a joke.
It's mostly in the crowd, right? It's not. I'm sure the band doesn't feel that way.
Yeah, like Rob Thomas isn't like, I will only play second.
Yes.
Like, if he does that, screw him.
Exactly.
Like,
and honestly, the Counting Crows are probably happy to go on first. They're like, those guys, all the sing-along songs they do, it's probably right. I mean, Counting Crows has plenty too, but Matchbox 20 is like, everything was on the radio back in the day. And,
for sure. They got a lot of placements.
And it's all kind of that boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
I want to push you around.
I was just thinking.
I was too, yeah. It was such a big song, 3 a.m., yeah. But they're good too, but anyway, Counting Crows, nice little deviation
Actually,
there.
the funny thing about Counting Crows is, like, so this Friday, we're playing with Sean Barna. Sean did a whole tour with Counting Crows before the pandemic.
No kidding.
I think it was before the pandemic, or it was just after the
Time gets lost with COVID.
Yeah. But he played a whole tour with them.
Wow.
And is like good buddies with Adam and everything.
No kidding.
Like, yeah. And
he still got that. He lost the dreads, right, Adam? Didn't he?
Adam doesn't have dreads anymore.
I mean, he's an older guy now, but
he is a little older.
Yeah.
It's probably better that he doesn't have dreads.
He's such a. I've heard interviews with him, and I've always thought he seemed like he's just a very interesting guy in a good way.
Yeah. I've heard only good things about him.
Behind the scenes, yeah.
I've had a couple friends work with him doing like sound.
Yeah.
For like different series that are worked out of his like Lower East Side house and stuff like that. So,
that's good to hear.
And apparently he's a really nice dude. He's just really unique.
Because it's funny. People almost every time when you have sometimes you have to take it with a grain of salt. Like I've had some people that have said like, he's tough to work with and that sort of thing. Yeah. And then I'll get to interview him. And some fairly big names too. I won't say their names because we don't need to start rumors. But I'll get to interview them. I'll be like completely great with me, super nice. Like and that's all you can really judge people by is what they do to you. Except for those people there are people out there, some big names that are just jerks all around.
I believe it. Like honestly, I try not to spend any time with those people.
There you go. Yes. It's usually one and done.
And like it's tough. Everybody has a bad night too.
Exactly. You got it. That's a good line. Yep.
I know like a mutual friend of mine got a real bad review from a sound friend of mine. He was in town playing a show, and the guy was like, he was so stuck up. I don't even want to work with him anymore. And I was like,
the old sound man.
I met this guy before multiple times, and been like,
you like him?
He's a really sweet dude, actually.
The old sound person musician relationship, right?
You don't mess with the people who cook your food.
No doubt.
You don't mess with the people who do your sound.
No doubt. Old Tom, man, pleasure as always. It flies by. I love having these little shows with you.
Got the clock, man.
Talk about some good stuff and play some good music, and new songs are great.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
Enjoy them very much. I hope you have fun touring behind them here for the spring and into the summer and all that good stuff.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be fun. Old Tom Music is where you find him on Instagram. Is that your main one? Instagram.
Yeah, Old Tom Music.
I feel like that's the one that most of the people.
Facebook is the same hook. So.
Okay, there you go. Go there.
Yeah.
Good with schedules and all that stuff.
I think so.
Go see him tonight if you want. Open to the public tonight.
It's open to the public. But come see me Friday.
Friday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Buy a ticket. See me Friday.
Give the details real quick again.
That's the Friday at 7 at Rockwood Music Hall with Sean Barna and So Blue.
There you go.
And,
Friday night.
A great night. And have a lot of fun collaboration. It's going to be a good night.
There you go, people. You got your Friday night plans now. There you go. It's been live at Drew's House Fun Edition. You play us out with one? You got one more in your back pocket?
Yeah, I do. Do. This is actually a sad song.
Okay.
It's not a lot of hope. I'm sorry to leave you.
Less hope on this one.
Less hope. Yeah. I wrote this song. It has a specific place on the album Northeastern just because we deal with a heroin epidemic, and it's a lot quieter these days that we haven't been talking about it too much, and I think it doesn't mean it's not there. It's still very much there.
It very much is. You're completely right.
And I wrote this song about a buddy of mine who we lost a bunch of years ago for that.
All right.
So this song's called Papers.
Old Tom taking us out. Thank you again, my friend. Thank you to Maeve. Thank you to the rest of the team. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me. This
always
really
a pleasure,
great.
man. You know you're welcome back anytime. Old Tom bringing us home. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you soon.
Neighbor says you've been running on empty, that your world was spinning just a bit too fast. Said you're headed for the city and you meant it. Found you down under the overpass. Shiv you home to your mama back in Springfield, saying my baby's just a junkie after all. Laid you down in the plot next to your cousin, waited a week cause we were desperate for the thaw. I never dreamed it ended like this. Your brother said he took a hit inside. It'll never be the same. It was just the way he always was. His day was fine, but he had to run and ran far away from us. I know it's not romantic going down to see you buried like wailing hours, something and frantic, but lower you down all the same. Saw your mama, she was standing by the tulips, letting her tears flow just as gently as the rain. Watch your brother whisper something gently to her, cause it was clear that she did not remember me. Said my name as I walked up just beside her, showing nothing but the deepest of regrets. I should have been, and then she cut me off abruptly, saying it eats us all alive if we let it. We stood in silence for a time till she released that hand of mine. She spoke, did you see it coming too? No other way for this to end. My baby's gone and